When it comes to living life, there's a lot to overthink, but I don't ever have to overthink my water. I've been drinking Smart Water for years and truly love its pure, crisp taste. It's vapor distilled through a process inspired by clouds. I love chic branding, and Smart Water's sleek bottle shape makes it the perfect accessory for any day bag, workout tote, or backpack. Smart Water is the smart way to hydrate no matter what you have going on in your life. Life is full of choices. Smart Water is a simple one. Visit drinksmartwater.com to learn more.
Hear that? Yeah, that's the sound of you relaxing, because now you're managing diabetes with the Freestyle Libre 3 system. You get to know your glucose levels and where it's headed. Manage your diabetes with more confidence with the Freestyle Libre 3 system. Ready to learn more about the #1 prescribed CGM in the U.S.? Visit freestylelibre.us to learn more. Based on retail sales data for patients' last filled prescription by manufacturer. Refer to the FLAIR NL4 study published in BMJ Open Diabetes Research and Care 2019. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us. Kroger brand products have the great taste you'll celebrate. That's why over 40 million people choose Kroger brand products, making them a true crowd pleaser. And with quality guaranteed, you'll love your choice or get your money back. Score Kroger brand products with savings you can cheer for and great taste you can't resist. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Zoe.
And I'm Rodger Berman.
And you're listening to
Works for Us,
where we talk to people about what works for them in their relationships and, of course, what doesn't. Okay, so we've done an episode or two about raising boys and all of the specifics about being a boy mom, but we actually haven't addressed all the incredible parents out there who are raising insanely extraordinary girls as well. Today's guests, Shawn and Serena Levy, have the joy of raising 4 phenomenal young women. I can say that firsthand. And they're the most pure-hearted, family-first people you actually could ever know, and we're lucky enough to actually know them very well. As I'm sure our listeners know, Shawn Levy is a highly sought-after producer and director of hit films and TV series like Free Guy, Woo Woo, with Ryan Reynolds. Sorry, it's amazing. The Night at the Museum franchise, This Is Where I Leave You, and of course, Stranger Things, if you've ever heard of it. Serena Levy, his absolutely stunning, extraordinary, insanely amazing wife, has practiced as an early childhood development specialist, which of course makes sense, working individually with young children and families, both privately and at Cedar Sinai Medical Center Early Childhood Center. She has also served as an individual, couples, and families counselor, both privately and at Southern California Counseling Center. I like to refer to Serena as the CEO of the Levy family, which is actually kind of the biggest job.
I'm going to order the business cards as if people still used business cards.
Yes.
I'm going to order them right when we're done.
I actually, when I first met Serena, I actually, as I got to know her, I was sort of like, that should be your overriding title, like CEO of this amazing family. And I kept meeting daughter after daughter after daughter. I wasn't sure where it was going to end. And I was sort of like, how on earth do you raise such extraordinary women, girls, children in this town that are the most kind, humble, smart?
I think they're just like special girls. And I think, our listeners don't really understand what we're talking about, but there's a certain person, child that sort of engages with you, that has good heart, and just sort of with it and with this world, as opposed to in their own world of narcissism, if you will. And I think what Shawn and Serena have done in really impressive job is creating daughters out of this earth. I don't know how else to explain it. But they're present here.
And all different and unique.
That's the crazy thing. First of all, thank you, Rodger, because that's
biggest compliment.
And it might be our biggest pride. We're happy with the life that we built and the career and the marriage and all that, but the daughters and the quality of people they are and the sisters that they are to each other.
For sure.
Rachel, that's a resonant idea for you personally. It's our greatest pride. So thank you. It's nice to have that reflected back.
I actually, funny enough, didn't know until recently that Serena actually was early childhood therapist, because maybe that's why Serena and I connected so well, because that was actually my dream job. Ultimately, I didn't want to go to more school when I graduated college, and I didn't want to have to ever study for a test again. So I quickly shifted my career path.
To one that requires no education?
Well, different kind of education. I call it street experience. And one might argue, by the way, that I use my psychology training. But I do want to go back to the beginning because we, of course, have the great fortune of knowing Shawn and Serena very well over the last years. But we do like to share with our listeners a little bit how it started. I do want to ask how it started for you guys, but I also want to mention, I don't even know if Rodger remembers this, but we all do.
Oh, yes. How we met. Maybe
met.
we should give a story of how we met them first before they met each other.
That's where I'm going with this, honey. That's where I was going with it.
Okay. Do you want to set it up?
All right, guys. So true story. A few Halloweens ago, I'm going to say maybe 5 years ago. Maybe more, but probably 5, 6 years ago.
Probably about 6 years ago.
We were at a mutual friend's Halloween party who does an amazing annual Halloween party. Rodger and I did a very last minute costume like we always do, kind of figured out the morning of. And we ended up feeling like, we were looking the part. And we decided to play Andy Warhol and Edie Sedgwick. And we walk into our friend's party and literally within 5 minutes, we're like, bam, there's another amazing Edie Sedgwick and Andy Warhol. And
then we decided we instantly had to go to the photo booth and take a picture. I think,
exactly right.
And we all got
the
LA
style.
We're like, oh my god, it didn't exist until we got to take a picture of it, or we're obviously going to forget this moment.
Yep, it's true. And then we got to talking as we were waiting to take a group selfie. And then afterwards, we just continued to talk throughout that night as we all continued to over drink a lot. And then I remember that night asking our friend, who are these people? I know it's
really weird.
We've
never seen you before. It's like you just sort of whisked into our LA
Edie
life.
and Andy.
But can I ask you a question? Do you always know this group of people, or
some of them?
You know what I'm trying to say? Because it just seems like we've been going to that party for 15 years, and you just kind of appeared as the beautiful people you are.
And then we fell for you guys.
Yeah. Have you been doing that all over the country?
We just change cities, so we never get boring.
I'm pretty sure that's what's happening.
Yeah. So that was the year we kicked off LA.
Excellent. Well, they did move to New York, so this story's not that far-reaching.
Truth is, but no, I don't know that we'd been to that particular party. We had lived in LA for 15 plus years, and I know we've got a few mutual friends. Mm-hmm. But we'd never been to that party, and I never have any say-so with costumes. But Serena basically presented the looks.
Me too.
This is what I'm doing.
Me too.
And we can cut to the theme of the episode, which is I do what she tells me.
Right.
This is.
Oh, hold on. That's how it works for us. Is the same way it works for you? That's so funny because I have my own title. It's called Chief Transportation Officer. So that's what I'm calling the CTO here.
Professional pack mule.
Yeah. So my role is to listen to Rachel. Move things and stay out of the way.
Take garbage out.
Yeah. Oh, I take garbage out.
I'm sure I would add to that stress over overpacking, fret over getting to airports too late. We're all the same, Rodger.
Oh, I was just saying to Rachel, please, do you have to bring that much? Rachel's the only person, she literally emails the airlines before to make sure that their baggage thing is why is it? She literally starts arguing with the airlines she wants to take more bags.
I wasn't sure what plane.
I'm like, sweetheart, stop. Just take less.
Morning, Serena says, babe, can you get some suitcases out of the storage room? And I'm thinking, please let it be one or two. Please let it be one.
Me too.
She's 6 or 7 suitcases. I'm like, no. Cut me on my knees, sweating like a pig while I repack because some of them are overweight. So I gotta just
my God.
But Shawn, you guys have the happiest marriage.
Shawn, have you ever been on your hands and knees at an airport reallocating luggage?
Yes, Rodger.
Oh my God, it's the most embarrassing moment of my life, and it happens all the time.
If you remove denim, guys, you lose a few pounds per item.
Okay, sorry.
Pay for an overweight suitcase than to have to unpack in public.
Thank you. I agree.
Oh, no. They wouldn't take it because it was too much weight. Like the union rules, arbitration setting, we can't take that. It's like...
That's a tough one when you can't solve it by either repacking or spending for the extra tonnage.
I had to do both. Oh, no. Actually... I got the suitcase at the Hudson News. Hudson News sells duffel bags for this very reason. I spent like $57 on the shittiest duffel bag of all time.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Rodger,
Yes.
we beat you. 4 girls and me 5.
I cannot, Shawn. I do not know how you live. I do not know how you survive, Shawn. I do not know.
When we first met, what was one of the first questions that I asked you? Do you remember? Like, we were having our own like conversation. I said, "So, are you the most patient person ever?" Because I'm a girl of girl dad, like my sister and I. So my dad, just by like raising us, in my eyes, is the most patient human being in the world, because my mother is me on steroids. So it's like me, my sister, my mom, and then there's my dad. And my dad was just always by the door, just waiting. Just waiting.
Oh, I wish I had that. I wish I had that serenity. But in our marriage, Serena is appropriately named because she is the patient one. She is kind of the steady, solid human. I'm a little bit more chaotic, more impatient, but I am servile. And I think that's the most important trait in my household. I get to go to work and feel somewhat empowered in the world.
I know. Doesn't it suck coming home every night and getting emasculated? It's like such an up and down. It's like highs and lows, peaks and valleys. I hear you, Shawn.
Rodger, I just don't fight it anymore. I literally, and that I think is its own recipe.
Me neither.
Yeah, but Shawn, those girls worship you.
They do.
That is true.
They do.
That is the rule.
So here's my thing, because like I said, I think being a daughter, there's like this place that we hold our dads that is like this. We fight with our moms because we can and we need to, but we can't breathe without them. But our dads, at least in my life and many girlfriends that I have, there's this very special place that dads sit that like is the dad place. And I think like, so I think with your gift of patience and having 4 magical children that are all uniquely different, which I would like to say. And the thing that I also asked you guys when we first met is, and I would love to hear about, how do you raise 4 magical children like this that are grateful and humble in Los Angeles?
I'm going to have to interrupt here. Before we talk about the 4 magical women.
Oh, do we have to talk about how they met?
Well, we talked about how we met them, but I think I'm curious to know how you guys met.
Oh, forgot about the beginning. Sorry.
You want to really set it up?
I will tee it up. And Shawn.
Ooh, this is going to be juicy. I could tell Shawn was way out of his league in seconds. That's where this story's going. I could tell in seconds. Go on, Serena.
Proceed.
I won't say the year because that might date us, but I will say our age. Right? That doesn't date us? No,
we were like
23 and 24. Mm-hmm. And I was in LA, but moving back to New York, I was on my way to go backpacking through Europe first.
Obviously.
A 3-year-old girl would do, and then end up back in New York. And a girlfriend of mine, Heidi Brooks, said, "Oh, I have a client. He's an acting client who he's just finishing grad school in directing, and he needs someone to produce his short film. I think you guys should meet. And he's really cute. He looks like, now I'm going to date myself, Joey Lawrence."
Yes!
The Jewish Joey Lawrence.
I had no idea that behind my back, I am described as the Jewish Joey Lawrence.
Or the peanut. Or the peanut.
Well, that's Rachel. That's our special something.
Sorry.
We can talk
not anymore.
Yeah. Well, thank you, because I'm on a podcast. Thank you, Rob.
It's all right. Only 4 people listen to this thing, so you're safe.
Not true.
Teasing.
We meet at a restaurant that doesn't exist, I don't think, anymore in LA called Farfalla.
Oh,
and
I remember.
Is I'm about to make my thesis movie at USC Film School. And I meet Serena, and in the walk from the maitre d' to the table, I was really smitten. I just thought, I love everything about this girl's look, her vibe. She was cool. She was 1,000 times more calm and kind of poised than me. And we sit down and I start pitching the movie. And as anyone who has ever pitched or knows what that is, you're describing the movie and you're selling the movie. And maybe like 7 minutes into my pitch, I kind of, without segue, say, and then this happens, and then the train comes, and is this going to be a problem? No transition. Silence. Serena, cool Serena goes, I'm sorry, what? I go, this obvious chemistry. Is that going to be a problem if we work together? And now bear in mind, I'm an extrovert, but I'm not ballsy with women. I never really have been.
Well, that's why I thought this was going to be a big fail, but I'm wrong. Wow, Shawn.
So I go, is this going to be a problem? And Serena, poised as always, said, there's definitely something going on here, but I think we can handle it. And then we went back to the pitch. We shook hands at her Acura Integra goodnight. She went on her way, and that was the beginning of us.
Wow.
Stop. So wait, was there like a follow, like date, were you like at that point, tell me what happened.
A few days later, I call Serena and I say, so can you produce my student film? And she said, no, I'm leaving LA. I'm backpacking to Europe. It was nice meeting you.
Oh,
I'm right. So I hang up. I make that sound, Rodger. And then in 3 seconds later, I thought, well, wait, now that we're not going to be making this movie together, it would be okay to ask her out on a date. So I called her back and we went on a date. And by the time that dinner was done, we both felt like, oh, this is where we belong.
Wow.
And that's how it happened.
That's how it happened. By the way, and you've been together, I don't want to date you, but
as long as
us, I think,
yes.
in the 30-year range.
I was going to say, we're like 28 years together and married for 26.
Yeah.
And the great irony is it took us 28 years, but finally this summer, we did the thing that Serena wanted to do on our first date, which is to move back to the East Coast.
Wow.
And this life. So we have now done that. And
such chills.
And it's everything that we had hoped it would be.
Oh my God.
So happy. I'm so happy because, it's funny, Shawn, I always thought you wanted to go back. Weirdly. I mean, you're from Canada, but I feel like for some reason I always felt like maybe because you're always on East Coast, like shooting and stuff, in my mind, I was like, they just want to be there. And I think part of the reason Serena and I connected so well is because I think we are a bit different than a lot of people that we know here, for better, for worse, the same. It's just, I think we connected on that level. There's a big part of us that is East Coast, even though we're living here. And I think obviously we know what we're referring to in that way. But I think that, watching you guys on the East Coast over the last few summers, it's like there was no transition. It was sort of like this is home. This is where you've always been. It's where you're meant to be. It's weird. But the shocking thing for me is like how much the girls love it and how much they love this change. Because that's, as you know, with teens but a friend of mine, and tell me if you agree with this, because you would know this, a friend of mine who has 5 children, I remember when we were actually moving to a different part of LA and moving schools and everything like that. And my friend said, well, how are the boys handling it? I said, they're not stressed about it. They actually are excited. They're down. They kind of think if we think this is the right thing, then, there's no anxiety about it. And she said, well, that means you're parenting right. And I said, what do you mean? She said, the thing is, you're doing something right when your kids kind of know that whatever decision you're making for them is the right one. They're not questioning it. They're not anxious. They're not in tears. They're not scared. They kind of feel safe because they're with you and they know that you have their backs, if that makes sense. Do you agree with that?
I do. And in fact, we almost did this move 7 years ago. And our teenagers then, because we have 4 daughters, the older 2 were teens, and they pushed back hard on it.
Right.
And we waffled and we anguished and we ultimately caved.
Right. Of course.
The upset of our kids.
Of course.
And so having learned that, and Serena had regretted it for years.
Yep.
So when we decided this was happening, I think what we both kind of sensed was we need to be leaders, and our certainty, they'll ride the wave of our certainty.
That's true. It is.
We just need to believe that someone does know better. And even if we as parents don't always feel like we do, it's so important that our kids feel that we do. And so time we kind of led with that decisiveness and led with that certainty, and I think it gave them confidence that it might be hard, but it would work out. And for us, it was an easy decision because you asked, like, well, there's no one secret, but for us, our elder 2 girls are in college and post-college. Part of our kind of the way it works for us is we like to stay together. We like to travel in a pack, live in a pack, be a pack. And having 2 of our 4 girls across the country from us, across from their sisters, that did not feel good. And it feels really good that we're once again all together.
Amazing.
It's honestly, it is the absolute, it's the dream. And I think, you know, there aren't a ton of families that like Raj and I look at and we're like, God, they're such a good family. Like they're such good parents. The kids are so great. And, you know, and so with you guys, it was obviously something that really attracted us to you. And I think, obviously, knowing you both as well as we do, I think, Serena, you have like this gift of like calm that is amazing. And then you let me in on this secret this past summer, which was that you're a Woodstock baby.
Oh, yes. Right.
And I said, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Right?
Uh-huh.
And your parents, which parent is a psychiatrist or psychologist? Counselor.
Mom works with little babies, actually.
And isn't your dad in this too or something? I feel like
her husband's a psychologist.
Right. So I was taught. Okay. Understood. And
it also is, guys, is Serena was raised by hippies.
Yeah.
Right. Like I was by much more kind of.
Sean was raised by the opposite.
I was neurotic Jews. You were raised by neurotic Jews, obviously.
Right. And obviously, everything about me just it oozes that.
100%.
Right. So glad you're feeling me, Roger.
No problem. You look at me. I mean, I'm a freaking dream. Trust me.
Grew up like without shoes in the woods with parents who were either high or just experiencing life. And so Serena has always had that.
It's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay. She has that. She's less tightly wound and she's got more of that hippie experience, like whatever it is it's going to be. And we'll live through it and we'll experience it and find joy in it. And she got the good stuff from that upbringing, I think.
But I also always wanted a real traditional family.
Right.
Like I wish I was a part of one.
Right.
Right. It's always you want what you don't have, of course.
As a stylist, I can tell you that I'm always a little suspicious of any one-size-fits-all pieces. Because the thing is, that can't possibly be true. And you know what? I feel the same way about hair care. We all have different hair with totally different needs, and a product that works wonders for curls might make straight hair limp and oily. Therefore, it's hugely important to find the products that fit you. My hair is so important to me, as most of you know. And I need products that allow me to keep it healthy, long, and full while not adding any buildup. Thanks to my personalized Prose routine, I can honestly say I've never been more in love with my hair. First, Prose starts by asking about you as a person with their in-depth consultation. Prose asked me really unexpected things like what ingredient preferences I had, such as vegan or silicone-free, and what kinds of scents I liked. I chose the Oasis scent, which combines notes of jasmine, amber, and white peach. They also asked me where I lived to see how environmental conditions might be affecting my hair. I was also able to specify that my hair was color treated, that I tend to style it regularly and treat it with oil, and that I wash it 2 to 3 times a week. Next, Prose analyzed all my answers and determined what unique blend of ingredients should be in every product of my custom routine. I mean, it was pretty impressive. Together, Prose got all my hair goals completely covered. Prose custom created a shampoo for me that features bamboo charcoal to gently cleanse and detoxify my scalp, along with a custom conditioner with butterfly pea powder to keep any trace of brass out of my blonde. They also recommended a special pre-shampoo mask that features plant collagen and jojoba oil to keep my hair healthy and nourished. My Prose routine has made my hair so soft and luscious, and I really believe that Prose could help anyone improve their overall hair quality. As a carbon neutral certified B Corp, Prose is an industry leader in clean and responsible beauty. All their ingredients are sustainably sourced, ethically gathered, and cruelty-free. They're also the first custom beauty brand to go carbon neutral. If you're not 100% positive Prose is the best hair care you've had, they will take the products back, no questions asked. Prose is the healthy hair regimen with your name all over it. Take your free in-depth hair consultation and get 15% off your first order today. Go to prose.com/Zoe. That's prose.com/Zoe for your free in-depth hair consultation and 15% off.
So I have a couple of questions. So you met, you had an amazing date. Clearly, the date was probably forever. You talked all night. That's usually how this works. Yes, they're confirming. So how long did it take you to get engaged? I'm assuming, Shawn, you did the traditional on your knee type situation, or what happened?
I did, but no, I know I was going. Well, I know. So I remember at our first real date, we both really felt like some kind of connection, and I think we moved in together. I recall. I was going to say within a couple months we were living together.
Wow!
And I bought a ring, and I had a whole plan to go back to the Mater D area of Farfalla to propose there. I had a whole plan.
Cute.
But shockingly, I'm impatient going back to that theme. So when that ring came, because I had ordered it from like Florida, it was like the biggest diamond I could afford, which was not very much at all. It was not a wow ring.
I was going to ask, were you already like Shawn Levy at this point or no?
I was a film student. Okay. I was a grad student.
Got it.
I had
trying to be
I had paid for film school by like doing 90210 and 21 Jump Street. And I was like,
best shows of all time, by the way.
Thank you. But I really wanted to be something else. And I was going to film school. So that's all I was. Serena had a job.
Right.
Serena was making money. I was not. I was like going to the gym on a Tuesday. And literally, this is mortifying. When I would take Serena on a movie date, I would microwave the popcorn in my apartment, smuggle it in a backpack.
Yes.
That's the cutest thing
I've ever heard.
Shawn, that's literally the cutest thing I've ever fucking heard.
By the way, that's Rach and I. We freaking taped her invoices. Like, you grew up together, poor, and then not.
That is the best. And I tell that, I know so many people in my field and in my line of work, and I'm like, I know that like the thrill of the like new and the thrill of being a somebody and all that's low hanging fruit.
Yep.
But what feels is pretty great is climbing the mountain with someone where you have moments where you go, babe, look at what we did.
Yep.
We actually we made $5,000 on that blah blah blah. Yep. Like when you have somebody to share the ascent with, it's satisfying, but that's a real intimacy. And I know you understand that.
Yeah, no, I do. I'm trying to get Rachel to smell the flowers a little more. When I tell her, I'm like, look around. She's like, we have no money. We're poor. I hate you. And I'm like, what?
Not true.
I mean, more or less. More or less. I'm like, okay, well, we have this.
In all fairness, I just want everyone to know, when I say that's an exaggeration, it's like actually not even close. But I don't smell the roses until long after. I absolutely don't. Until someone's actually interviewing me and like making me run through my life. And then I'm like, I did do that.
Well, after she gets interviewed to be on like the defining book on fashion and they need her in it or their book isn't complete. I think at that point I'm like, babe, when she's in textbooks about herself, she's in actual textbooks now.
Shawn,
I'm like,
let's go back.
I'm like, so Rach, at some point you should be like, you did better than most.
The ending of the engagement story is basically the day the ring came. I was like, I gotta do it right now. I don't keep words inside my mouth.
Shawn, this is why we're connected.
It's like Rachel
can't hold it in.
Rachel comes home with my birthday gift unwrapped out of the car. She goes, happy birthday. I'm like, it's not my birthday till Friday. Can you, like, I want to savor the moment. I look forward to my birthday. I want to unwrap it. Like, what is wrong with you, child? She's a child.
A typical Serena birthday is like, Serena, I got you a great gift. Okay, fine. It's a motorized scooter. I am an idiot.
I love it though.
But so I proposed not in a fancy on your knee way, but in our bedroom up Beechwood Canyon or up on a street called Tuxedo Terrace.
I know Tuxedo Terrace, by the way.
The day that I got that ring, Serena was like in bed watching an election return.
So he walked in a FedEx box in one hand, ripped open, and a ring in the other hand.
Shut up, Victor! Get off the phone. Get off the phone.
That is how.
The ring is here.
Wait,
what ring?
Shawn,
the proposal ring. Do you want to get married? I love it. I could just see it.
Wait, that's literally the funniest thing I've ever heard.
I love this engagement story.
This is different than any other proposal we have interviewed in the last year. I just want you to know. And
Amazing.
It's genius, actually. And Serena's just looking at him like he's batshit crazy.
So,
right?
Serena, what did you do? What did you say? Like, what was the reaction?
I was on the phone with my friend, Susan Rosner, who's now Susan Rosner. I said, Susan, I have to go. Hold on 1 second. I think Shawn is proposing to me.
Shut up. That's the sickest thing of all time.
Yeah. And then do you remember then, Serena, this is weird, but this is real. Even as I say it, I'm like, wait, did this happen or is this a story we tell? Serena hangs up on Susan. I'm like, so do you want to get married? Married? Serena. And then she goes, Shawn, I can't see. I can't see. I said, what? She goes, I can't see. Shawn, I can't. I've lost my vision.
Shut up.
She had what we have since researched.
Like a panic attack?
It is called hysterical blindness.
Probably a panic attack.
Is that actually?
For about.
Wow, she really didn't want to get married.
Wait, Shawn, hold on. Wait, I'm dead.
When your body takes over and shuts your shit down so you can't say yes, you got to listen to your body sometimes.
Wait, I just lost my mind. Hold on a second. I literally just lost my mind.
This is
Wait, this
classic.
is the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard.
This is classic. Hold on. So Serena went blind. So not only are you not the man of her dreams, you made her go blind?
Yes.
You made me go blind.
Wait, so Shawn,
how long did the temporary blind? Because you could see now.
My memory. What's your memory? Let's just play a game where we compare our versions in our minds.
I'm dead.
I feel like 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
I was going to say like 5 or 6 minutes. Okay. So I think it happened.
Wait. Okay,
wow.
So Shawn, hold on. The fact that you have not done the best romantic comedy about this story.
Come on, Shawn. We need enough money already. We need a money-losing rom-com. Seriously, you made enough dough.
Penthouse.
You got your penthouse. Do something for the people already. Something like giggly that we can like.
Well, funnily enough, 10 years ago, I did that. I did what at that point was like my definitive story of us, which is a movie called Date Night.
Yes.
Serena and I. Okay, so get this. We're on date night at Giorgio Baldi.
Of course. Best restaurant in LA.
Okay, so like or let's just say a certain percent of your listeners, they know this restaurant in LA. And we would go there once a week for our date night. And we're there on date night and we're talking about the kids, the schedule, the same stuff. And we started talking about how, isn't it weird that date night becomes
about your kids?
It gets too familiar.
Yep.
And then we came up with this idea of, wait, what about a story about a date night that goes wrong based on one thing? You take someone's reservation at a restaurant. You don't want to wait, so you pretend that you're someone else whose name you see in the reservation. And out of that came all of the movie.
That's amazing.
My God, I totally forgot. Wait. But there's no blindness in that in the proposal, is there?
You are not wrong, Rachel, that I've yet to do that scene.
Okay, so I'm now, hear me now, listeners, Serena, Shawn, Rodger, as we sit here, I would like to beg that we get a great romantic comedy because I personally really need one in this lifetime that we're living in right now, as does Serena. And I think that would be one of the absolute.
By the way, and Shawn, I don't know much about the business, but something really moves me when at the beginning of the title it goes, based on a true story. Oh my God. I mean, it's money gold. Maybe you could make
starring Shawn Levy.
Maybe you could make more money on this rom-com with that. Come on, Shawn, give it a go.
You got it.
You did put, am I allowed to say this?
You can say it. Say anything.
I think it ended up in the movie. For a while, I was going to make the movie Marley and Me, and I wrote a scene where the couple, this is based on our wedding night, where you come home to this beautiful hotel room, and everyone looks gorgeous, and everyone's young, and Serena and I, this happened where we got married, and we were in Montreal, and it had started snowing outside, and even though in the movie version, you're supposed to fall onto the bed and have a nice We literally, in our bridal gown and tuxedo, rolled up our pants, sat on the edge of a bathtub. Our feet were freaking throbbing. We sat there in front of a huge window with snow falling outside, and we soaked our feet on our wedding.
You guys are the flipping cutest
Wow,
people
you became
ever.
80 on your wedding night.
Yes, we did.
Good for you. Good for you.
That's what works for us. But that scene is amazing.
But wait, I
that's
do want to
cute.
ask you that, you guys. So can we go to
I
that
have
for a
so many
second?
questions. Before you were engaged, I mean, it wasn't a long time. Were you like, hey, I want a big family, a little family, or I want like 11 kids or 2 kids? Or how
You
did
had
that?
kids really quick.
Well, and also you have a lot of them. How did we decide that?
I don't remember any conversation.
We never.
I think it
evolved.
it did evolve, but there was also, I think, a certain amount of, I don't know why we just assumed that we would want enough of the same things, but there was never an actual formal conversation about number of kids, size of family.
You just did it.
Yeah,
It
I don't
just
think we really
happened.
did either.
We didn't. We just kept not having them for 18 years.
Yeah,
We just.
I need a lot of practice.
That's true.
I
We
need
were
a-
together for actually 18 full years without children.
I need practice. And also, Rachel, I didn't really know. I needed 18 seasons together. Sorry. I needed, 72 seasons together.
No, the truth is that I think because we were both workaholics, Shawn, we kept saying like next year. Oh, next year. By the time we're and then all of a sudden it was 18 years later.
I have to tell you the reason I'm struck by that. I don't know that I ever knew that, but I think, 18 years of marriage. Marriage is never going to be easy all the time.
Right, of course.
Everyone knows that. But 18 years of marriage and relationship in the absence of that inherent bonding glue.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is, I think, remarkable.
Well,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Shawn.
That is its own love story. And it speaks to
thank you.
love story.
I think there was a lot of we didn't feel like we were missing anything. Do you know what I mean?
Again,
like in that moment, there was never
truth
like
be told-
imagine if.
No, truth be told, I think at least, and I'm starting to feel old enough to have children, but I think at least my personality, I'm pretty young at heart, and I didn't really see myself like with kids because I was sort of a kid myself, and still, and I think a lot of people, that might not be, mature enough or like solid enough in their relationship to have children, and I think that's a lot of the reason why there's a lot of family issues in this world, but just sort of
we were so connected. We were just kind of doing life,
but also for us, I think again everyone thinks Rachel's the more outgoing person. I'm actually the more outgoing person. For sure.
100%.
And, which is funny. But, I think we just liked
each other.
We just liked cruising around and just having fun. I don't know. We just really had a great...
we worked and had fun. And
we had a great life.
All of a sudden it was 18 years. And it was like,
so
oh my God.
we looked at it a little bit more like, oh no, kids are going to slow down this party and this like momentum and our careers.
Oh my God, I don't want to lose my career. Oh my God, we don't want to stop like us. You know?
Also Rachel's career especially is a little bit more, it's harder to, stop to have kids. It's just a hard, it's a much harder, 2 years in Hollywood, as you're over, right? If you're not like inside.
But we have every friend of mine that wants to have kids and feels like, oh, it's not the right time right now. There never really feels like
it's true.
This is the right.
It's true.
No, you're never. Well,
Never.
Finally, it wasn't the right time.
We just happy accident had Sky, and then all of a sudden I wish I had 4 kids.
Yeah, but I was sort of, hey, Rach, like you can't.
We're not aging backwards. Is the reality.
I just got to be like really not an issue, but like we kind of had to pull the trigger.
I think it's something I think about a lot. We can spend so much energy in our careers and our relationships and our family lives where you can get pretty hung up on what you wish was different, what you have, and I'm not going to default to the like, meditate on gratitude. But the truth is, it's just a focus shift, right? And where I'm standing, you guys have a great life. And I'm sure there's things you don't
From
have.
my standing, I have a great life.
We're
I
so
agree.
Grateful.
I try.
So grateful.
I try it every day. I'm like, be grateful. It's like, I don't, listen, I wish I had a daughter, but
we'd like an additional child, at least one.
But it's several to spare.
Yeah.
So I was going to say.
Yeah, but
by the way, when I first met Serena and she told me you had 4, I was like,
but that's why Rachel really, I think, does have, more or less like some girls in her life that she's close with, some friends' daughters that,
like
she,
my kid.
she pays, gives them birthday gifts and pays special attention. I mean, I guess it would be more like a godmother type role if that, she's not a godmother, but you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, I agree with what you're saying, Shawn. And again, not to say attitudes, I really try and focus on not what we don't have, but what we do have. And I tell Rachel a lot about that too, like our life is so blessed. It is.
This I know.
It's amazing. And I don't know.
I think we all are. I think that's a lot of what we've probably taken away over the last 2 years.
I mean, that's
as how little you actually need.
And how, and I don't, like the clothing, I don't want it. I don't even need it. Although I do like sweatshirts.
Also, you have a lot of good clothing. So when you get sick.
No, I do have, oh my God, I'm getting, I'm really going deep into I'm really going deep into the workout gear, the technical gear, like sweatshirts. Oh my God, I have such good comfy
one
stuff.
Good pair of pants. I got my one good Greg Lorentz sweatpants with pink stripes.
Oh my God, the Viores. These are the next ones. Oh my God.
Rodger.
Shawn, I've been wearing these for 2 days. I swear to God, I haven't showered.
You gifted me a tracksuit with like a match. And I do wear it all the time.
This is what we're getting you next.
Travel, but now it's for all around leisure wear.
It's the best leisure. I'm king of leisure wear, I think is what it comes down to.
So wait, I do have one question, you guys, because all of your daughters are fiercely independent, except there's maybe one it's going to be the 3 of you for probably a long time. So I guess my question about that, so as we've mentioned a few times, they have four girls and the youngest being 10, right?
Now
she
11.
just turned 11.
Wow, she's 11.
My God. And she is, I would like to say, I identify very well with her because she's glued to mom and dad. I was glued to my mom and dad. I swear to you guys all the time. My mother actually told you that I held her like I cried. I cried every single day at sleepaway camp. I cried to be picked up at school. I cried to be picked up at sleepovers. So I guess just
what a baby.
Rude. But I think the question is there something different? You can't raise each child the same.
Is it birth order? What is it?
Yeah. Like what?
Do you guys have an idea?
Because I'm the baby.
Honestly, they were all like that.
Really?
Yeah. They were all like, we picked 3 kids up from sleepaway camp early, and the 4 kids are not ever even going to entertain the thought.
So do you tell me about that? Because I think there's this line that I'm actually going to struggle with, and I think you guys can probably help me. Rodger will not struggle the same way that I do, but we parent so hard, right? And we have such great kids, right? We're so blessed. But at what point Skylar's going to sleepaway camp for 3 weeks. I'm in a inner spiral.
This is the most honest answer I can give you. And they come out as who they are,
right,
and affected, but our 4 girls are so different from one another, and those differences were baked in early.
I agree with genetics. 98% of everything is genetics.
I agree. Definitely all have been very attached to us, and maybe it's that we're very attached to them.
I think so.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. I think I'm guilty of that. Not guilty, but it's okay.
No, it is, because it leads to the third thing I was going to say, which is our oldest girl is now 22, right? 22 down to 11. We are still having talks in bed at night, Serena and I, about, babe, we gotta release the reins a bit. We cannot live her life with her. And we are still, like, we're veteran parents. It's still a struggle. So you talk about sleepaway camp.
Yep.
We do the same disattachment, kind of symbiosis.
Yep.
struggle that you're describing. Even
so interesting.
I'm really pushing for it, and I won for the moment.
Also because Skylar wanted it,
but it's also
I don't think Caius will go.
Well, and he might not, but I think Skylar's the type of kid that will get a lot out of it, and he's a very he likes friends and he likes that stuff, and he's a joiner, and I don't want to deprive him. Like I didn't even love sleepaway camp, but I loved it more than hanging out with my parents for a summer. So
but that's the difference.
Right? So that was me. I was like, whatever chance I got to be away, but I'm also young. I had 2 older sisters, 6 years and 8 years older than me. So I was sort of like
vastly different from your parents.
Their nature, right? That you have to respect their nature, and so he will love it.
No, he's going to love it.
Hold your hand every day in New York this summer.
It's going to be Miyu, Coco, and Caius.
Oh my God, Caius is maybe going down the Coco path. Caius asks every 11 seconds. He just put up, "Mommy?" Like literally, it's subconscious. I'm like, why are you just chanting "Mommy"? He goes, "I love Mommy." And by the way, he's 10. Well, no, he's 9.
He's
he
7.
He turned 7. Well, no, he just had his birthday.
He's 7. He's turning 8 in 10 days. Calm down.
He's 8.
Okay.
He's so funny.
So, okay, that's helpful. So I'm just going to keep coming to you guys for this because you now have the huge age range. So you guys, the most important thing that we leave here with is, and I kind of know a little bit, but I do want to hear your thoughts on it. What is your magic? What's your secret sauce? Why do Shawn and Serena work so beautifully? And obviously, like, you fight, we all fight. Like, it's normal, it's healthy, but like...
what works for you?
What works for you?
I think Shawn and I are really different, 100% yin and yang.
Same.
But actually want the same things and value the same things.
Same.
So we come from complete opposite places of trying to make the same thing work.
I think that's what I was going to say. I mean, this idea that the right person and the right relationship should be someone who is like you, I don't think that's true. I also don't think it's true in business also. I've learned that the easy way and the hard way.
Yep.
Don't double down on yourself.
Never.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't want to marry myself, dear God.
And you don't want a business partner that does what you do or it just does not work. I agree.
That's the early lesson of relationships and business for me is like, no, don't look to double down on yourself. And yet when Serena says we want the same things, we crave familiness. Frankly, living all those years in LA and especially with my kind of job, I would imagine fashion's the same thing. If you're working and flourishing in a business that is by definition a little bit based on superficial values,
100%.
Need to know the difference, and you need to, for yourselves and your kids, that's what I do. Right. That's what mommy and daddy do. This is our life.
Yes.
Yep.
This group,
yep.
This is our real life.
Yep.
This is things that matter. And it's kind of crazy how many people we've all met who don't live that way.
No.
Where it's all kind of, the kids are props for the, they're like something to be out.
Yep.
We love being with our kids. I know you live the same.
There's nothing that even comes close.
Yeah, no.
Nothing.
Like even like we were saying, like to go away. Like I'm a tough guy sometimes. Like I would love to go away for like a couple of nights with Rach. Like we did that in Napa, but like we were just like going. We're hopefully we'll see with COVID, but going to Harbor Island, and it was like, what? I was like, are we bringing the kids? I'm like, yeah. We were both like, yeah.
Like, why would I ever want to be on the holidays without my children?
Like, why would I be on the beach? Like, I want to see like them like giggle. Like that's the point.
I want to see them swim with turtles.
You know what I mean? Like that's the point. Like I don't know. So I was like, yeah, and like I'm excited to like because they love anime. They're very into anime and all that. Like I really want to take them to Japan because they'll freak out if they see like museums with samurais and that's what I want to do. I want them to explore the world, like give them that opportunity. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I think the thing that I've always observed is that Shawn, as you were saying, I think in these industries that we're surrounded by and people we love, many friends we've made in it for life and we're grateful for, but ultimately knowing you're going home to your happiest, safest place where you're just you and you don't have to work and you don't have to think and it's just that's your happy place. And I think for me, I don't know about you guys, I mean I kind of do, but like during the pandemic, I think if anything we all came out of, it was like we're really stuck together because like we just spent like 16 months without seeing anybody else. Like this is, and guess what? I'm so happy. I'm so relaxed. You know what I mean? It
was kind of nice. I mean, not kind of, it was amazing.
Not everybody feels that their family is their happy place.
I know.
Right? Like not at all. Everybody feels
I know. It's
if
true.
you feel that way, that is a gift. And for us, that's always been connective. And so, even what you were saying, Rodger, this idea that like, oh, well, to keep the spark alive, you got to go away once a year for 2 weeks.
Right.
Like, the bottom line is we're 28 years in, and you find those moments in little pockets,
of course,
places and moments before the wake, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Those, but the togetherness is all of it. Yeah. And it doesn't need to be kind of segregated. It's all part of going through life together, which is existing.
But I really sorry, go on, Serena.
We had I think it was a child therapist years ago who called us. She said, you guys are a cluster of grapes. You kind of need to all be on the same branch and be connected and next to each other. And that's how you all feel like you're okay in the world.
And I don't know that everyone needs to live that way, but I do know that it sure helps if your idea of family is the same as your spouse.
Partner.
I agree with that.
There's lots of ways to do it. But I don't know how to do it happily if the idea of what that means isn't the same enough as your significant other. And for us, the bunch of grapes is what we both crave. And that shared aspiration of familyhood, that's been bedrock since that first date.
I agree.
You know what's so interesting also?
I agree 100% with you.
In a weird way, and I'm sort of thinking it like Rach and I, I was a banker, Rach was in fashion, and New York is sort of the capital of both. And like you were here, obviously did extremely well in your craft, but
still doing.
Still doing. But the point that I'm trying to make is in a weird way, because she lived around that, she never had an escape from it. And because you lived around that, you never really had to escape from it. And in a weird way, I think you both crave like normalcy in a weird way. And like normalcy, whatever that is. And it's interesting. I know you have a home in New Paltz, right?
We for many years had a home up in New Paltz near Woodstock.
I'm like, I don't know said house in New Paltz.
No, but and imagine it was just like a respite, respite, right? Just get away from, because I feel like I'll just tell you my own personal experience. I moved to LA. And people would like ask me like tax questions because like most people thought I was like a stockbroker. Like no one has any idea what finance is.
Now they do
on the West Coast. Well, now they sort of do, but it's like
you
30 years behind.
Like this summer when I said, we're moving now to what you said to me is that's going to be so nice for you to be in rooms where not everybody is what you do.
Yep.
For me, that was LA, right?
Yep.
Writers, actors, directors, everyone wrestling, and everyone wants to every restaurant, every party. I come here, I'm like a novelty act.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm a director, and it has been, it's been a nice kind of like middle of life shakeup for us,
and
family to just kind of try a different adventure.
So great.
Yep, I agree.
So great.
It is nice.
So jealous. Are we gonna have to do this again at some point?
No.
Oh.
We're here for.
We sit on our hill. We just don't leave.
Yeah,
we don't leave the hill.
We did the move 18 years ago. Well, we did our move 18 years ago. We're like.
Yeah, we did the reverse.
For the same reasons, honestly. Like, and the other
I had
thing.
to do it for the reverse.
And the other thing that's interesting, and maybe this is what you felt a little bit, and I know you must sort of. What's also weird about being in the town where the industry is, you actually make friends in the industry and around, and there's certain like obviously everyone's kind of type A here, right? So there's a lot of this sort of like, where is everyone in my world? Like, are they friends? Like there are definitely other motivations for friendships here that that even if the people aren't necessarily conscious that they're doing it, subconsciously they kind of are, and because they're smart.
That's 100%, and that is one of the things that Serena has flagged as one of the things she truly doesn't miss. Yeah, it's that sense of oh man, everybody
has an agenda.
Feel like everyone's working an angle somewhere.
Everyone's a hustler.
You
know, everyone's a hustler in some way.
And I'm telling you again, that's why Serena and I fell in love.
And in many ways, believe it or not, funny enough, I mean, we did a little mini move. Like, so we moved to Brentwood. You know, we moved from Beverly Hills, and in a way, that also allowed us to.
We moved 10 minutes and our whole life changed. But
we changed our life also in a weird, a little bit more west, obviously west side, closer to the beach. Now we have this rented this place in Malibu. So we get there.
We're going to end up in the ocean.
But I'm saying it's different friends, different teachers and parents from the school. And it's just nice.
And isn't it also, again, I'm basing this on the pictures of the view from your new house.
Oh, it's sick.
It looks like you've also found a home. It is sick, but it also looks like
it's peaceful.
It's the haven.
It's serene. I'm home and I'm home.
It's quiet.
Yeah. And it's the four of you in that haven.
It's true.
We have the same feeling. You know when you go to the Bel Air Hotel and you kind of go up and you get in the Bel Air, you're like, where am I?
He doesn't mean it in the pretentious way. He means it in the I'm in another place way.
In the escape way. Once you go up, through the gates up that hill to our house, it's like
we just kind of feel like we're somewhere else.
I really feel like I'm somewhere. It's like I've actually gone somewhere else, and I go back into town to live my life, and then I come back up to this and to hang out. It's really interesting.
Nice. I want to leave you guys because I know you guys have 10 billion.
Let's do some questions
but I want to
do
last 3 silly, funny, newlyweds.
Ooh, I want to look at them because these are going to be good.
But I want to do one.
Okay, go for it.
Because I have to know because I'm dying to hear what they say about
Ooh,
this.
good.
It's always my favorite. Shawn, why is Serena getting arrested?
Because she went ballistic on someone who she feels wronged one of her girls.
Oh, she went down to the school
Shawn,
and beat up a kid.
She beat up a kid. Get arrested for that.
She beat up a kid.
Get arrested for that.
It could be school, airport, dance class, aerial ballet class. It doesn't fucking matter. If Serena feels that someone is wronging one of the girls, she is a tigress and she will cut you.
Oh my God, I love that, Serena.
Wait, that's going to be me. That if the first time a girl breaks my kid's heart, I swear to God, you will have to lock me up. You will have to restrain me. It will be a problem.
I threatened to land a plane because I was fighting for my daughters to be seated next to me.
Oh, I almost got arrested.
We have a story
that,
about that.
They actually left Caius unattended. They left him like
someone
alone.
Wouldn't move. He was 4, and no one would move. I'm like, nobody would move.
I walked up to this woman, you guys, and I go, how do you sleep at night? How do you eat anything?
But then they're amazed that we're like walking over them to like give our kid like an iPad or like food. We're like, you moron, we wanted to sit next to him, but you had to have your aisle seat. So guess what? Knock yourself out, loser.
Okay, wait, Serena.
Don't get me started. I was angry that day.
Why is Shawn getting arrested? I kind of know this, but we probably can't say why he's really getting arrested.
What?
Shawn's such a rule follower, Rachel. He would never get arrested.
Oh my God, so is Skylar.
Skylar's such a rule follower.
I love a rule.
You do, Shawn?
In the middle of the night, he wouldn't go through a red
Is that why you went to Yale?
I am a by the book. I love it excelling, but I do it within the box.
Okay.
And I follow the rules, so I don't see myself in jail. But I'll visit Serena there.
See, I'm a weird oxymoron because I actually hate following rules. I actually do believe they're meant to be broken. However, I hate to get in trouble. So I can't really figure out how to balance those two issues because I don't want anyone to yell at me.
Also, Rachel, you know this peanut wouldn't survive a night in prison.
It's true.
My God.
Oh my God, Shawn, you just really wouldn't. You're too little.
So let me.
too little.
So let me.
Down pillow.
I can't sleep without a good pillow.
Me neither. First thing I do in a hotel, Shawn. First thing I do in a hotel.
Phone pillows,
Swap
please. Phone pillows.
Swap the pillow.
Oh God, the call down.
Shawn, I see you. I do.
Oh,
I do.
My goodness. All right, let me
amazing.
ask a question. I think this will be also good because he's in the entertainment business, and this will be interesting. And you can't use the same one.
Oh, yes.
Serena, you guys, again, based on a true story, it's 20 years from now, and you're going to do the biopic of your life.
Who's playing Shawn?
Who's playing Shawn?
Serena?
Serena, who's playing Shawn? Shawn, who's playing Serena?
In 20 years?
Well, no.
Like
it would be the current day you. But in 20 years, you're going back and you're doing biopic. He's obviously producing it, and he has to.
But you're young. You're young, Shawn.
Right, but of course, he does everything you say, so you're casting him.
I'll go first. Well, Serena, I think is either Brooke Shields, maybe Brooke Shields would play young Serena, and maybe like
the hair and the brows.
Amanda Peet would play like 30s and 40s.
Yeah, ooh, I get that.
Driver plays older Serena. Done.
Wow, drop the mic. You've done this once or twice.
Yes, Shawn, that's not fair. You have like an advantage on this
You've
question.
done this once or twice.
God, I have cast things before,
I'm
but
saying.
I haven't played this game.
Joey Lawrence would be the callback.
Yeah, but Joey is going to be too old to play him. I'm so sorry.
We go for a 1980s Tom Cruise.
Yes.
By the way,
risky business, Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Oh, this is first of all, this is foreplay you're witnessing right here.
100%.
Her comparing me to Tom Cruise, we're like on third base.
100%.
Like this podcast will end. It's happening.
You understand? Thank God. You take what you can. I'll shut this. I'll shut this production down right now. I could do it, Shawn. Right now. You just give me the wink.
Are the kids home?
Wow, things are getting frisky. All right, this is the first time in our podcast we've got to.
I love you guys so much.
What a great out, guys. Do you need to ask a third one? Because I thought that was
that was a perfect ending.
They are the cutest.
All right, outro. Shawn and Serena Levy.
Okay, so I don't want to play this down because I'm not sure, because Shawn is such like a normal, whatever normal is, such seemingly just a regular like husband, super dad and all those things, that I actually myself always forget about how accomplished he is because he doesn't play that role in life. You know what I mean? And he's very humble. He's very humble. And I think having 4 daughters and a badass wife will keep you humble.
Well, I think what he said is, he goes to work during the day and he's like the man. And then he comes home and he's like not the man. And I think that keeps him balanced, as he says.
I agree. And
there's nothing like your family to tell you the straight truth, just like how it is, and that's what, we were talking about that earlier. Skylar and Kaish are like the most amazing children when they're out of the house and to everyone else. And then to us, they don't think
to me, they're amazing.
No, it's not. Of course, they're amazing to me too, but they're not above pushing my buttons.
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm their dad.
Skylar does to you what I did to my mother. Period. That's just, it's that simple. So I understand because he's me as a boy. And he's doing to you what I did to my mother. So that's what's happening.
Anyway, so happy we got to connect with them.
They are extraordinary. And their children are extraordinary. And everything Shawn does is extraordinary. Everything Serena does. She's so special. And I feel very connected to her on so many levels. But I also have a tremendous respect for Serena. And I think for us, just given how family oriented we are, I'm just always so attracted to people that are so good at doing the family thing.
Well, I also think, when I think about it, like now, when you think of like, oh, so-and-so person or so-and-so person, you're not just saying like, oh, that person's great. You're like, wow, that person's great and such a great family.
I always describe people as like, they're such good parents, or she's such a great mom, or like, they're such a beautiful family.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Attractive.
I think family,
it's true.
I think family and your ability to have a functional family,
it's true.
I think is also, I guess it's the next step in like trying to have a great relationship, and then also trying to have a great family. And I know this sounds a little,
sappy.
Yeah, sappy is exactly the word I was looking
for.
But
I'm usually the sappy
I know, but I think it sounds sappy, but like, you kind of want your whole family to be positive on society, so
right.
It's hard work to get your kids to be that way, but it's sort of your duty to try and get them to be productive members of the society. I mean, that's just the bottom line.
Ultimately, your job as a parent is to raise great humans.
Yeah.
It's that
Otherwise,
simple.
you shouldn't really
whatever that means to you, but like ultimately, yes. So I'm always very impressed by people that can do it 4 times.
Yeah. And I think it's also an interesting theme that
we're attracted to.
Well, people yearn for home, whatever that is, right?
Safety.
Well, it's just interesting,
security.
or just being comfortable. And it's just interesting how they move back to the East Coast because it's sort of like their sensibilities are East Coast, and that's why they feel more comfortable. It's just like Greg.
I think some of ours are East Coast.
Yeah, I think we have enough of both that we can get by either way.
Yeah.
Which makes it easier.
Okay,
anyway,
so
thrilled to talk to them. Can't wait to
This was one of my favorite episodes.
Oh my
I actually
God.
learned a lot and laughed. I actually was
They are
tearing. They are the
hysterical.
funniest people. And Serena, by the way, she's hilarious because she just looks at Shawn like, "Are you okay?"
She's like the quiet
queen.
But she's so funny in her quietness.
I know.
Because, I mean, the engagement story where he was FedEx in one hand and the ring in the other.
She literally went
blind.
Sight.
I mean, that's good. We had cash. I mean, we have a lot of pretty good early stories.
Guys, if you listen to Works For Us and you haven't heard some of the earliest episodes, you really should, because there's some really good ones, and it might help you navigate your path a little, not feel like you might be so off path sometimes, to know that not everyone is as perfect as they appear on Instagram, and everyone has their own funny story.
Exactly. And that's sort of my point. All right. Well, thanks again.
If you like what you've heard so far, please make sure you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts and give us an amazing rating and review. And of course, keep listening. And check us out on our Instagram at works.for.us. Also, tell us your story. There's a Works For Us phone line that you can call to leave us a message with your very own relationship stories. And we're planning to share our favorites on the podcast. You can also ask us for relationship advice, although we can never stress enough that we are not experts, but we'll still take your questions. So if you want to share your story or ask us a question, give us a call at 657-549-2251. That's 657-549-2251. You can also find all of our contact info on our Instagram at works.for.us. Okay, but we want to leave you with a little highlight and lowlight from our week, because in relationships, the bad comes with the good. So this is our time to mention a little bit of both of those things. Okay, you want me to do highlight? My highlight is that as we all feel very burnt out after we've worked probably as hard as we did in 2009, 2010, which, by the way, is not a complaint. We are very grateful that we have so many great things going on in our professional lives. However, we are definitely experiencing professional and parental burnout, and very ready for a vacation.
I'm going to go with a weird highlight. Well, it's not weird. So being in California, it's been really rainy here lately.
And by really rainy, you mean it rained for a day?
No, it's been raining a lot. So the highlight is as follows, Miss So, and this is my highlight. So why don't you just stay out of it?
Can I say something?
No, you can't.
It rained for what was supposed to be 4 days, and the sun was out by 3:00.
No,
I'm
you're
just
wrong.
saying, I had sunglasses on.
Sweetheart, you're wrong.
Okay.
It rained a lot this week. So much so that Mammoth Mountain has 7 feet of new powder.
Isn't that scary for avalanche?
No, it's amazing for all concerned, because there's a few things. A, we need the water in California badly.
I love rain.
The snow is what provides the water. So you need the snow cap to get the water. So I'm excited that the snow cap is building so early in the season. So that's going to provide some wonderful skiing and some wonderful water to our lovely California. So that's my highlight. My low light would be that I'm feeling a little tired. I think I said this last time, but I'm going to say it again. I love what we do. I love all the things and all the energy we have to do them. But at some point,
you need a brain break.
I need to just chill, and I'm getting there. So my low light is that I don't have quite the strength and stamina that I normally do, because I need to chill out. What about you, Rach? What's your highlight? That you can't believe how beautiful I am, how buff I am. The highlight is like looking at your husband every morning. I'm just giving you some ideas to start off with. Well, since you don't have a highlight, I'm going to do one for you. The highlight for me, Rodger, is waking up, turning over, and knowing that you are by my side.
Even though this morning I was in the boys' bed because you, the boys, and the dog were in the bed, and I literally couldn't find an inch to actually go to sleep in.
No, in my vision of this, you turn over.
But I like your version.
In my version of this, you turn over, you look at me, and you know what you say
I worship
in your
you.
mind?
I'm lucky to have you.
Well, yes.
You're
you
the
know
most
why?
perfect man.
But it's not for the reason you may think.
Oh.
Listeners, it's not for the reason you may think. It's because Rachel looks at me with that amazing look in her face. You know why? Because I'm going to Starbucks to get her tea. That's the only reason why she allows me.
Do you want to know this
bed.
amazing feeling, you guys? When I wake up at 6:15, or the first time 6 or 5:45, and then I just snooze until the boys are like, hey, it's 6:30. I turn over and see that Rodger's absent, and that means he's in the car. That means he's already on his way back with piping hot Starbucks. It's the concern is when he's still next to me in the morning, and I'm like, oh my God, he hasn't left. Will he make it back before he has to take the
Yeah, there's some pressure involved. And I will remind our friends at Starbucks that, you know, we keep talking about you guys. You're not
but
a sponsor.
But you can advertise.
Like, hey, what about us? We drink the goddamn stuff every day. We
People
like it.
dress up as me for Halloween with the Starbucks cup as the prop.
Come on, Starbucks.
Okay, everyone. Love you all. We'll
you.
speak to you next week with an amazing
new
guest
episode
or guests. Stay tuned for Works for Us next week. Bye.
Bye.
Does money stress you out? Let Facet flip your financial chaos into clarity.
We feel way more confident and secure in our finances, and with that comes a sense of freedom.
Financial planning from Facet is here to help you improve your life today, tomorrow, and every day after that.
Facet was really the place where we saw all of the tools and the people coming together.
Visit Facet.com, FACET.com to learn more. This ad is sponsored by Facet. Facet Wealth is an SEC registered investment advisor. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities, nor is it investment, legal, or tax advice. These testimonials are from current Facet members who are not compensated. All opinions are their own and not a guarantee of a similar outcome.
Cocoa Beach, not only Orlando's closest beach, but Florida's spaciest. Put your feet in the sand and pull up your front row seats to America's missions to space. Watch rocket launches right from the beach. The legacy of the space race surrounds you on Cocoa Beach. Head to Kennedy Space Center to learn the history and future of space exploration. Cocoa Beach is perfect for space enthusiasts, young and old alike. Plan your own mission online at legendarycocobeach.com on Florida's Space Coast.
This is Dr. Laurie Santos from the Happiness Lab. Many people have questions about how to improve levels of happiness. Living a healthy lifestyle is one sure way of increasing happiness. And a good place to start is with your oral health. Just a few small changes to your oral care routine, such as changing your toothpaste to Colgate Total, can lead to beneficial changes in your oral health. Colgate Total helps stop oral health problems like gingivitis and cavities before they start, because preventing oral health problems is a lot easier than treating them. Be dentist ready and get Colgate Total at shop.colgate.com/total.